Welcome everybody, here we go today. Tristan and Sabrina here on the Trisbrina Show, talking to you about our beautiful 6-step energy blueprint. Really excited to share this with you. If you don't have a copy of it, we'll be making sure you get one, and many of you already got this in your emails, so come on in and say hello.
Yes, this is a downloadable PDF of our 6-step energy blueprint, and what it does is it just is super basic, not complicated, don't worry.
Easy to follow.
Shows you like optimally how would your energy flow in the morning, what 3 phases do you want to pass through, and then what 3 phases in the evening in order to have optimal energy all day. And optimal energy, we don't mean like hyperspastic, oh my gosh, bouncing off the walls. It's like a sustained energy that you can take any direction you want, because when your energy is really optimal, you can say, I'm going to go to sleep, and you can sleep, or you could say I'm going to run, and you can go for a run. It's balanced, and you can take it wherever you want. So we're gonna give you the link to download it if you don't already have it, and then we're gonna share just like a basic overview training of how to use it, and we're gonna show you a few movements or attributes from our Good Morning, Good Evening Qigong program. And the reason we're focusing on that program is because if you haven't heard, oh my goodness, where have you been? We are launching for the first time in 7 years, and the first time ever virtually, Good Morning, Good Evening Qigong certification program. And it's all done virtually, no travel required, no Facebook required. And what we typically do historically is when we launch something for the first time is we offer a super duper discount, because you're going to be kind of behind the scenes watching us as we create everything that others in the future may go through as pre-recorded. I think if you're ever going to get certified in Good Morning, Good Evening Qigong, you want to get certified this time, because it's 85% off the total value. The bonuses are so amazing. I just got off the phone with a woman who's joining us. She's a nurse. She's 72 years old, and she wants to devote this next part of her life to help people heal naturally. She's overcome cancer twice, and this is what she wants to do. And Beautiful. She was just like, she said, I saw the bonuses that you're going to help me monetize the certification, that you're going to show me how you go live and how you teach from your phone or your laptop. You're going to show me your setups. And then you're going to introduce me to your tribe in the Qigong showcase. She's like, those bonuses are like everything I need in order to do what I want to do with this.
You made this so exciting. I have to put the link up for everybody. There's the link. If you're interested in our certification program and you have not yet seen what we're offering, all the things Sabrina just shared with you, are all on that link on that page. Yeah. So please just jot that down real quick. We'll come back to it a little bit later.
Good.
Okay.
Get those
got
pictures
it?
Ready. I want to
SatoriMethod.com. I got you. I got you. / after the .com certification. Okay, it's going away. Bye.
So while he's getting things ready for the training,
I'm ready.
Oh, you are. Well, I wanted to answer a couple questions.
Oh, okay, great. Let's set this up again one more time, because some of you folks just got here.
All right.
So hello, hi,
everybody.
Sensei Tristan here. There's a lot of friends here, so we've invited our entire community to the show today, and thank you for joining us, because we're going over our 6-step energy blueprint. Now, this blueprint is baked into our program called Good Morning, Good Evening Qigong. And so in just a moment, I'm going to pop the link for the downloadable PDF just so you have a copy. You do not need to go and print it out or anything right now, but you probably want it for later. It'll be a great reference to the stuff that we're going through today. If you didn't hear, Sabrina just mentioned that the Good Morning, Good Evening Qigong, by popular demand. People have been going through this training for years now, and it wasn't until it was 7 years ago we certified people to teach this program 7 years ago. And because so many requests have come in.
And that required travel.
You had to travel to come and be with us and do the training. And things have evolved since then with all the virtual technology and the virtual training. We've been testing this for years now, and it works beautifully. So we've decided to give the people what the people want, and we are offering a certification in this program. So that's what that was about.
Yeah, so the question that came in today a few times, in case you're tuning in because you have this question, is, I have that program. It's my favorite program. I do it all the time. how is this different? Well, it's extremely different because you have the home study course, which is absolutely amazing. I was watching a video today where John Assaraf is like, "This is the best qigong ever." Nick Ortner, Bob Doyle, everybody loves it, and it has really changed people's level of health. But I think with what's happening in the world right now, so many people are seeking optimal health and super immunity that Qigong is really just getting that buzz. Oh, you're self-conscious about your little piece of
I'm going to fix it.
Okay, I'll just keep
You
talking.
in the booth.
No, how the certification is different is when you do a home study course, and it is absolutely fantastic. It's like doing a workout video and you're watching the teacher, and we all think we're doing what they're doing. But this certification is time in a very, very small group with Tristan and myself watching you do the moves, helping you master them for your own level of health, and then helping you know how to share it with others. So that's a completely different aspect. There'll be 8 modules that we go through a deeper dive into everything and take you through that. And then there's live interactive sessions where we work with you. And it's all on that page where we send. So it isn't at all like the home study course. It's completely different and yet the same.
This is a live session. It says live. It really is live. We're alive. Yep, still fogging a mirror.
Is somebody asking?
Well, no, I mean, there was a question about it, and some people were saying, nope, it's live, it's live. It is really alive.
Good morning, good evening.
All of it's alive. Everything's live. Just about everything we do. I was thinking about this today. We teach a lot. We used to, years ago, when we first started learning this whole online stuff, people said, just film your courses, and there's nothing wrong with this. Yeah. And then just walk away from it. Set it and forget it. And so we were like, really? That's how you do it? Because we've had our own studios for decades where you teach live. You can't just put a video on and have your students walk into your school and teach. I mean, I guess you can. And then, yeah, there's something nice about having videos and having replays. But there's something amazing about when you teach it live like this, and that live energy is baked into the training versus going in a studio and filming it. It's very different energy. So we teach a lot live, and we love it. And there's a limited amount of us. So when you catch us live, I think it's kind of cool because otherwise we're probably asleep.
Well, there's Facebook Live where we can go one to many, many, many. And then the way that we do the certification is one to few because we are actually going to give a lot of personal attention to each and every participant.
We'll answer more questions about the certification a little bit later. Yeah. We really want to walk you through this 6-step blueprint. So let me go ahead and just pop this in the chat for you. This is the blueprint.
Yes, we are live and alive.
Live and alive.
I see so many people here who are actually already registered for the certification.
I called it a bluepring, but you get the drift. It's a bluepring gift. That is not what I meant. Okay, so that's the link. Then we'll pop it open. We've got a copy of it right over here just so we can kind of go through it with you. Basically what's happening is we looked at all of the different Qigong techniques that we know. And I'm talking about Sabrina, myself, and our dear friend, Peter Ragnar. And we said, okay, what is it that we love doing in the morning and in what order and why? And can we condense this down? Because sometimes Qigong takes a very long time. Some systems take a long time. My original system that I was practicing took me about 90 minutes. And there's nothing wrong with a 90-minute session. I love them. But not everybody has 90 minutes or even 60 minutes. And we said, given the state of the world today, the busyness of life, and helping people actually cross that bridge and try this energy art, could we compress it into a 10-minute routine? And we did. And we were a little bit nervous, to be honest, with doing this because we weren't sure, because we'd had decades of our own practice. So we were able to feel the qi very quickly between our hands and around our body because we'd been cultivating it for a long time. We wondered if we compressed it down into 10 minutes, would others get the same benefits? And so we tested the waters. and we started sharing the routine, and the feedback started coming in. Oh my goodness, this is so powerful. I remember one email we got from somebody, and he said, I've been working with my energy coach, and he tested me for doing this particular Qigong, and he said, it's too powerful for you right now. You have to build up to it. Now, we don't think it's too powerful.
I actually said, I think that energy worker might have been saying, he won't need my services if he does that program. He didn't want to lose the revenue.
It was a fun email to get, because we're like, no, it really is very powerful. So we condensed it down for 10 minutes in the morning, but there's a different routine for the evening. And so we're going to discuss with you today what we do in the morning. We'll show you some of the attributes and movements from the program to give you a sampler of what this is. Now, I know that many of you who are here right now, you've already got this program. You've been going through it for years. A couple of folks shared with us the other day, I've been doing this every day for the last 7 years.
Actually, they're asking how it's different from the flow form.
We'll get into that, because we've got students here who are certified in our other Qigong program as well. I just think that that's fantastic, that someone loves this program that much that they're doing it every day for 7 years. Wow. Wow.
I get so many people that say that.
That's so cool.
What you'll see in a minute, the movements are simple enough to understand and execute, and yet provide this powerful impact that anyone can do it. Some Qigong, like I love dancing, so I actually like some of the more complicated, highly coordinated movements. Those are fun for me. But for some people, it's like that's not who I am. Yeah. So there's less rotation, there's less twisting in this program than in the flow form.
That's pretty much the main difference.
There you go.
There it is.
Bam.
Boom. Shaka laka laka boom. When I was putting together my favorite movements.
I missed you today.
You did? You hadn't seen me? We were so busy in our own little offices doing what we do. By the way, just thank you guys for being here with us. There's so many of you here right now, and it always just makes us giddy. And I get
Joe, love it.
I get super happy to spend time with the tribe. And if you're new to our work, look, we're energy people. We're all about health and vitality and raising your consciousness through movement and anti-aging. There's a massive longevity anti-aging benefit to this particular art. Okay, so let's go through the blueprint at top level, and then we'll kind of dive in. And like I said, I want to share with you guys some movements and attributes and principles for those of you who already have the program, or if you're new to what this is. Okay? All right. Okay. So when we were creating this, Peter and I, we would get together and we would conference, and then we would go in the mountains and train together. What do we know that needs to happen with the energy first thing upon rising? Well, what do we know that's happening in some people's lives? They're waking up already feeling depleted. Now, this is a cycle, and you'll see as we come full cycle and talk about sleep, you've just come out of slumber. So for someone who's waking up from sleep already feeling tired, there was a problem before waking up, and we'll talk about that. So we know that we needed to awaken the life force, the energy inside the body. It becomes dormant. It becomes compressed. It becomes blocked over time. So for those... Very still.
Like,
so still, it's a sluggish...
Yeah, think about a still, stagnant body of water.
Yeah.
Like a bucket of water with the mosquitoes in your backyard. It's not getting any movement.
Yeah, that becomes pungent and sluggish and stagnant. So some humans, their internal water, their life force flow system is completely stagnant. And that is why they feel like, I can't even do anything, and I don't have the energy to exercise. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the important thing to realize, especially for somebody who already is sedentary or wakes up just feeling off or maybe in a weird mood. Something's going on with your energy.
Mm-hmm. Just if you're taking notes, the first thing we're talking about, the first step in the blueprint is awaken.
You're awakening your chi. Chi is spelled Qi or Chi. It means life force. The yogis call it prana. It's that vital force that enables you to fog a mirror every day. And Qi, take it beyond your body, it animates all of life. It's what's moving the oceans. It's what's creating everything that's alive, everything that's moving. Okay? So when you don't have that chi moving through you, you can get really ill. You can get moody. You can wake up feeling emotional. You can wake up feeling exhausted. So we do different things to activate the chi, from deep, fast breathing techniques. That's something you want to write down. We call it dragon's breath. I'll give you just a sampler of this. So what you're doing is you're breathing into your tummy. Here, lower belly. Oh, I got all wet.
The dragon.
That's a deep diaphragmatic breath, right? Those of you who know how to do that, you're pulling the breath down the front of the body. Here. Now, dragon's breath takes place a little bit higher up, where you're breathing in quickly through the nose. You'll feel some movement in the solar plexus. See how it's pumping from here? You don't. It's because it's so fast. You're not going to be able to fully drop the diaphragm down and pull all that oxygen in deep. You don't need to. It's through the nose, and it's very, very quick. It's an activator. Now, typically, thank you, you might even need to blow your nose because it will clear your sinuses, which is a good thing. So have tissue ready. Another thing you can do to help activate it is bounce your body. Okay, now that's another awakening technique, which is great for your lymphatic system, as we know. So far, these two little things, even if you were like on a stool, I'm on a stool right now, I could do it just kind of bouncing up and down on the stool. Yeah, or your pogo stick, or your bouncy ball, or a yoga ball for real. And you're just activating and awakening that breath, that life force, because life force is carried inside of your breath, and that's one of the ways it gets into your body is through breathing. Good, efficient, effective breathing. Okay, so one thing to note and to put it down. Now, I would say that one of the mistakes people make is they think, well, I just don't have the time, or I don't have the energy. But you see, this type of exercise, we call it exercise, it gives more than it takes.
Yeah.
You always talk about the generator of energy and how when you exercise,
it makes energy.
Makes energy.
People think that physical movement takes energy. Yes, but it makes far more. And I just wanted to say, if you're waking up or someone you love is waking up tired, something's off, right? I mean, it's okay to wake up and be like, stretch for a minute, but we should feel rejuvenated, which we'll get around to when we do step 6. So it isn't, I wouldn't say, it's not normal to wake up feeling, well, in this day and age, maybe it is, but you shouldn't wake up feeling foggy or tired or drained and that, oh my God, if I don't have that cup of coffee, I need to artificially stimulate through caffeine because my adrenals aren't working. So we're talking about changing the energy flow of your body so that you wake up and then you do processes to really awaken the entire system.
Right on. So step 1, awaken.
And I mean, it's, those of you who have the program, you know, it's much deeper than this. We're just trying to get top level in this little bit of time we have together.
Yeah, there's over 20 movements in that routine. So obviously we don't have the time and we're not charging any money for this. We want to give you a blueprint, a framework that you can start thinking through. Maybe there's movements that you have that you know. Our greatest goal always is to inspire you to become healthier and hopefully to share these arts with others. Take what you learn and pay it forward. So whatever we can, and there's different levels of us playing together. This is level 1. Hey, let's get together, let's hang out, let's teach you some stuff, let's have some fun. Level 2 is go practice on your own what we showed you, or go through the home study course. Level 3 is let's deep dive, and then you go teach it to others. That's the whole certification stuff we're talking about. Okay, so there are different levels of working together. Yep. All right, here's another thing that you might find yourself wanting to do in the morning that's not difficult.
Is this still step 1?
We're still in step 1.
Awaken.
We're awakening, and you probably do it. Our dog does it every morning. He gets down on the floor, and he stretches. Oh, man, that feels so good. And take a big breath or a yawn. Oh, you might even yawn.
I bet you're doing it right now.
That's a great way to awaken the flow. Now, why the stretch? Because your spine is an information highway that the chi flows through.
Who yawned? Right in the chat.
Who? Who yawned? Who yawned? Did you yawn? If you yawned, then the mirror neurons are kicking in. The spine is a highway that the chi, the life force, flows through. If you're a yogi and you study yoga, you've heard of Kundalini. You understand there's an energy that moves up the spine. You've heard of the Sushumna, right? That core. That if you're into Qigong, you've heard of the Chungmei. You know these channels, they activate, they open, they awaken. So these are a couple of things that you can do to get it going. Now, once you've got it going, it's kind of like you got the breath that started the flame on the candle. But you want to now protect it and grow the glow. You want to grow the glow of the chi, and that's called big chi. And so we call this next phase build.
Step 2,
Step
build.
2, build your chi. So one of the things that the Qigong masters discovered is that between your hands are these chakras. They are called Lao Gong, and they have the capacity to open and receive and send information, little packets of information known as chi that they can emit, but they can also receive. They can receive chi from the earth. They can receive chi from the sky, from the heavens. You can connect with trees, people. There's beautiful ways of receiving and transmitting data, information. So you actually start to have a conversation between your hands. And one of the main reasons to do, I'm going to show you here, hands going in and out, you're building a chi ball, this is called the accordion, is to bring awareness, oh yeah, this is real. You see, until you fully believe in chi, it's a nice idea, right? But it's kind of invisible. I can't put my finger on it. Is it real or not?
Is wind real? Can you see wind?
You can see the results of
See
it.
the effects of wind.
So a good teacher will show you.
Hear it.
Did you notice that you were actually bending more? You were moving faster. Your spine seems taller. You have more glow in your eyes. Like you can see.
Your knees feel good.
Yes. That pain is diminishing. You start to notice
Shoulders working.
the results of the wind, of the chi. But when you can feel it, if you could see the wind, you'd be like, dang, I'm good. I could see the chi. But when you can feel it, you feel it on your skin, the wind.
Like goosebumps.
You know you're in it. Mm-hmm. So when you can start to feel it between your hands, it increases your level of certainty. It increases your motivation to practice. Oh my gosh, it's getting bigger. And you can actually measure your life force. And as you build it, step 2, build, it gets thicker. And it gets more dense, almost like lots of little molecules of chi being pushed together, just an analogy. And it gets more and more dense. We know the more molecules we pack into a substance, right, the more dense that becomes. Mm-hmm. Well, you want that kind of chi in your body where you're building and building and filling. You know, the Shaolin, the monks, the fighting monks, they knew that if they could pack their bodies and fill their bodies with chi, when they get hit, it bounces off of them because they're so filled with chi. There's so much
life force.
Yeah, the life force is so strong inside them that what disease? It bounces off of you basically because you are healing yourself with this natural energy. Mm-hmm. So one thing you can do, standing or sitting, you'll continue to breathe, but not the fast breathing now. That was an activator in the beginning. Now you're breathing here, in through the nose, probably out through the mouth usually. They're pretty much whenever you're doing a Qigong or Tai Chi move, when the body's rising, you're breathing in and up and breathing out and down. You'll see that more in the evening technique I show you. But here, breathing in as you expand and then breathing out as you build. Okay, so you're breathing in, breathing out. Now there are energy centers in your body, and these are all covered in the Deeper Dive course, but let's talk about them for a minute. There's one here, this is called your power center. It's known as the lower dantian. There's one here, it's the heart center, the heart dantian, middle dantian. And then there's the upper dantian, right here in front of the yin tongue, which is the third eye. Your hands and Laogongs float right in front. So you can play with these movements and relax your wrists, relax your fingers, and become aware of those little, right in the center of your palm, right there, the Laogong. And put your mind, we say put your mind in your meridian. So what is a meridian? Meridian is channels that flow through the body, and they converge around these chakras. And so you can put your mind into the channels and you can visualize like a golden white light. Breathing in, filling with chi. Breathing out, seeing the color, the hue get really like the color. See the golden colors back there? That's a really good example of golden white light. See it getting brighter. Turn up the hue. And here's another little trick. Don't just feel for it in your hands here. See if you can imagine that your hands are inside these energy vortexes in your body, and you're inside. What? Activating your inner energy vortexes. You would feel, this is called the wisdom center, right? This is the power center. This is the heart center. I may not have mentioned the term wisdom. Feel you're expanding your wisdom.
I said to Tristan 2 days ago, I said, people who haven't experienced something like this, they say, woo, woo, woo.
Whoa, whoa.
People that have, they're going,
Whoa.
whoa.
Or wahoo.
Whoa. So
Right.
don't judge the people that say that you're woo. Just know at some point, hopefully, they'll be whoa, wow.
Exactly.
Woo, wow.
Wow,
Whoa, wow.
Wow, whoa, wow, woo. You got some whoa, wow, woo going on, buddy.
All right.
Okay, so that's the second in the morning. So you awaken, you build, and now you want to store it.
That's right. Play ball.
Play ball, baby. Think about this. When you fill up your car.
So step 3.
I'm on step 3 now.
Store.
You gave it away.
You said it just
I said
now.
it. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
I wouldn't give it away. You threw it away, so I gave it away.
Wow, whoa.
We're here all night.
You fill your car with gas, right? You're pouring the gas in. Do you leave the cap off and drive away, or do you seal? You do. You seal it. You don't want to have any energy leaks. So there's a technique. There's several techniques that put the chi in the body and then seal the session. And I'll give you an analogy just for you to literally chew on. The concept is once you've built the chi, and there's multiple techniques that we teach for that, but I give you the premise of it, and it's really big, and then you start putting it in the body, you're compressing. So the concept is to compress the chi down into a tiny little golden pill. So that golden color, you're taking it into a golden pill. Now these, maybe they're just fun metaphors. Maybe they're little analogies that help your brain and your mind to focus, or maybe it's real. It's up to you.
Woo or wow.
Woo or wow, it's totally up to you, right?
You choose.
You choose. Go with the results. The results are what dictate whether or not something's woo or wow.
I'll show you some studies that have been done this past year on what Qigong is doing with COVID-19, and you'll see it's wow.
It's wow. You're envisioning this chi ball. We were building a chi ball, getting really compact. We talked about pushing the molecules like so nuclear, baby. So packed with chi. It's like this incredible pill. And you store the energy pill right here. So now that I've made a mess up here, here's my belly button. Go 3 fingers under. Another way to do it is you can put your like your thumb in your, what's that thing called where he pokes the boy in the belly? Is that the Pillsbury Doughboy?
Yeah.
Okay, put it in your Pillsbury Doughboy. And then just where your Laogong is, it's right around there.
So that's where the chi pills are?
That's like 3 fingers. So right where your Laogong is, that's where you're putting your chi pill.
So if he was a Pez, if I pressed there, boop, out comes the chi pill.
Pretty much.
Okay.
By the way, Qigong makes you fun, playful, and silly.
Smart.
And very smart.
So Awaken, build. Step 3 was store.
So you've compressed it into a tiny little chi ball and you pack it in. This is just a concept to play with, and you pack it inside your body. Now, some of you have already been working with this, and so you can feel the physicality of it as you're bringing. So let me show you a technique. So I'd be visualizing, right? I'll be visualizing building my big chi ball. And I got it right here, and then I start directing it into the body. And you'll be breathing and moving. The whole body is like a lung. It moves, it roots down, it rises up. You got that long spine that we awakened in the morning. We're visualizing, we're building now. We're packing the chi.
Because we're going to take it on a trip, and that trip is the rest of the day.
And we put that tiny little golden pill inside. And then there's some things you do. You've got to seal your session and then close your session. Awaken, build, store. That's the first part of the formula.
It's a question that commonly comes in. Can I only do this program first thing in the morning? No, you can do it throughout the day. We suggest you don't do that routine after like 4 o'clock. But as far as being a teacher and sharing it, well, first of all, components can be shared because there's so many different movements. You can share different attributes, but it's not just first thing in the morning. You got to be by the bedside of your student. Get up, awaken. It's something you can do all day. Do you want to change your shirt? Are you going to be self-conscious?
No. Okay. It's so silly, just silly. Okay. Think about the importance on the psychological level of feeling that you woke up, you activated your system, you awakened your chi, you took the time to fill yourself up, to build yourself up, and then you stored it. So the whole leaking of chi concept is a real thing. If someone goes into their day already from behind, feeling like they're behind,
starting a day with a debt,
feeling like you're out of your flow, there's already so much to do. Maybe you're worrying about stuff. You're leaking chi all day long because of your mind. Your thoughts are weak. Your thoughts are distracted. Your thoughts are sucking the life force right out of you. Why do some people who are really worried about stuff or burning themselves out look so much older than their biological age?
And vice versa. Because
those people who are burned out, they have drained out their life force. And when you drain your life force out too soon, you start to age rapidly. And your body breaks down and you get super emotional and moody and irritable. So when you fortify your body with Qigong and you store it, and you do the things we're talking about, not only do you maintain a healthy state, you probably look a lot younger than your physical age, and you have energy during the day, and you have joy and motivation because you took care of your energy. Energy is everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. We showed some of our friends that are in a course we have called Momentum. Before we do the evening, I want to show those quotes that I sent to you.
Yeah, sure.
So
I got them right here.
And after the session, we went back and looked at the videos of us from 10 years ago. And yes, there was a different haircuts, different clothes. But when we did some close-ups, and we were
That's true.
Oh my gosh, I think I have less. Well, he said it. You have less wrinkles, and my skin is better now than 10 years ago. And we were talking about that because Qigong has been such a huge part of our lives for the past 10 years since we turned 50 and beyond. And I was like, wow.
In our 40s, well, my injury was in my 30s when I really dove into it. And Sabrina, being my angel bear, jumped in with me. And so we've been practicing the art for over 15 years now. I think it's made a big difference in the quality of the energy that our body is feeding off of. Yes, we have routines for taking care of our skin and our muscles and all of that, but you can't deny that when you have fresh, healthy life force it's going to do good things for you.
Because the body will naturally heal every night. The body will naturally rejuvenate. There's incredible hormones and chemicals. But when you don't have energy and your body is more in survival mode, when you're not sleeping well, which we're going to talk about in a minute, your body isn't able to do all those wonderful things that it has the ability to do because you're not giving it the energy to do it. Or I would say you're taking the energy and putting it into worry. You're using the energy for other things that are draining.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons that we're so in love with Qigong, because it really does allow the body to be the miracle that the human body is. So we're just going to show you real quick, and then we'll get into evening Qigong. Yesterday, when we were laughing about is it woo-woo or is it like, whoa, wow. And so I just did a couple Google searches on studies that have been done this past year during the pandemic. And I have 4 of them here for you on COVID-19 viruses and Qigong. I just wanted to show them to you to inspire you. You pulling one up?
It's right there.
Oh, good. A recent study published in the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry, this was just in May, reports the usefulness of the integrative practice called Qigong to prevent and manage COVID-19 in older adults. Now, you can Google that yourself, and there's a lot of gobbledygooky talk too that goes along to support that.
Gobbledygooky.
I just grabbed the part that's like, hey, look at this. They're doing studies. Go ahead. And this one is really good. Evidence suggests Qigong may be potentially useful for the prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation of respiratory infections, including COVID-19. That's like, wow. So
huge stuff here.
And the elderly in particular could benefit from Qigong during the ongoing pandemic, for it is easy to practice. And that's a really long study if you want to go and look at it.
I love that, because that's the key, is we've got to have something that we'll do because it's time efficient, it's easy to do. And if you're a teacher or a coach or a healer, well, you want to pass on things that you know your clients and patients and students are going to use.
And those of you that are coaches, like, look at what you can find these things and share them with your students.
There's another
and
one.
use them to advertise your classes. Qigong in respiratory infections, clinical proof. Studies show that Qigong can reduce the incidence of respiratory infection for 2 years after this exercise, and the incidence only went down afterwards. Another study reports that Qigong was linked to a significant reduction in colds and flus.
Wow.
That's just basic immune system. The more frequent the practice, the fewer the symptoms. For those who already have an acute respiratory infection, Qigong may shorten the total duration of infections. I mean, there's so many people that could help themselves in such a little bit of time in such an easy, natural way, and maybe get off of some of the medications that may be having other side effects. And then the last one that I pulled, and we love Dr. Weil, and we love True Foods. Qigong improves health by decreasing stress, reducing inflammation, strengthening respiratory muscles, increasing lung capacity, and improving immune functions. Each of these mechanisms can help restore lung function after a COVID-19 infection. And that one went on to talk about a study that they did of a group of women in Japan who were having trouble walking long distances. And so they looked at their inhales and their exhales and how long they could walk before they got out of breath. And then after a 12-week program of doing Qigong 20 minutes a day, which would be 10 in the morning, 10 at evening, or an hour a day, or whatever they did, and saw significant ability to walk for further without getting out of breath, just from some simple Qigong movement. So I wanted to show you that to just really inspire you.
I love what Kobe just popped into the chat here. She says she loves that, and it's so true. I worked with the welder PT during this pandemic, and I used Qigong in my treatments, and it helped them so much. I think
she didn't mean elder.
Oh,
or maybe were they elderly welders?
And they were able to pick up a couple of moves very quickly. That's fantastic. Seriously. You'll have to correct us if we were wrong there. With the welder PT, or is it elder? Either way, it doesn't matter. And we love, Kobe's one of our certified instructors. Bonnie just
In the flow
shared.
form.
What did Bonnie say? Oh, I like this, Bonnie. Bonnie just wrote this. Where did it go? I'm going to find you. Here we go. She said, what? Now you've really gone from woo to wow.
Yeah. You know, some people, if you haven't experienced a shift in your health through something that seems so simple, right? Like if somebody said, I fasted for 30 days and I only drank water and lemon and cayenne and it had this effect, you'd be like, well, I'm sure it did because that sounds really horrible and hard. But if somebody says, hey, I started doing these simple movements for 20 minutes a day and all this happened, a lot of people are going to say, I don't know. It's the truth.
It's the truth.
See? Try
it. Okay. Okay.
So you got awaken, build, and store. Now we're going to move into steps 4, 5, and 6 that we call the evening Qigong.
So
Kobe said yes, it was elderly welders.
I believe her. Thanks y'all for playing along. We love to bring the humor as well. Damn fat thumb, she said. If you think about it, that makes sense, right? You wake up in the morning, you want to bring that energy up, you want to wake it up. You've just been asleep. It's time to wake it up. And then it would make sense that you want to be filled with lots and lots of energy. Like people think, oh, I need a big breakfast. Not always a good idea, but that's another topic. You want to fill yourself up with big chi. So let's build it, right? And then you don't want to have leaks throughout the day where you're losing your chi. You know, pounding a cup of joe here and pounding a cup of joe and then having a big meal and all that. That's your body saying, I need energy. I want that natural energy because I'm losing it through my worries, through my thoughts, through lack of movement. But when you do gentle movements and you have a positive mindset, which is what happens when you do Qigong, you plug the holes. You don't have the leaks and you have that time released. It's literally that little pill of chi as you store it in your body. It's like a time released capsule and it knows where the energy needs to go most, either for healing or productivity, and you have an incredible day. So now let's say you've had a full day, you've been super productive, you've been running around, building your business, running after the kids, the grandkids, whatever it is that you're doing. We all tend to pick up, just like at the end of the day, I don't know about you, after I've gone and worked out, I like to take a shower. I like to take a shower and I like to wash off the debris of the day. Well, energetically, you're picking up all kinds of energetic debris. Now, you can be getting this from electromagnetic frequencies. We are surrounded and bombarded by them today more than ever, right? All of the cell phone towers, all of the phones, everybody's on them. You can't go anywhere hardly anymore where there's not some frequencies bouncing off your body. So you're picking up disruptions there. If you've had any negativity, or let's just say it's just been one of those tough days, you might have some energetic blocks and disruptions. We can pick up emotional discord from other people, especially if you're in a service provider industry and you're listening to other people going through stuff and you're around that. Talk to a therapist or a body worker and they'll tell you, oh my gosh, if I don't seal myself and protect myself, I'm picking up a lot of other kind of energy. So you want to cleanse, and that's the next step. So this is the first step in the evening, is cleanse your system.
Yes.
You agree?
Yes.
Okay.
I just want to comment on what you said and kind of underline it, that, you know, when you have that energy and you have awakened and you build it and you store it and then you're moving through your day, a lot of people say, well, you know, how can it help that person's shoulder and my skin, and I've lost weight, my knee feels better? How come it's different for everyone? And that's because the energy knows where to go. The energy goes where you need it. And that's why everyone's results are so different when they share, because where there was a lack, it's like a vacuum, and the energy will be pulled there, and that's where you'll probably see the biggest bang first, is where the energy was lacking. Like if you crimp a hose, right, and there's a lack right where it's bent. When you unbend it, that's going to be the part that the water feels the most powerful right away, because it's been depleted there.
So true. Yeah.
Yeah.
you are definitely wanting to cleanse your system. There's quite a few techniques that we teach in the program. I thought one that would be most relevant for tonight, and it's easy to learn, is the technique of creating a tourniquet. So you are gripping, almost like think of a sponge, and there's dirt in the sponge, and you run fresh water over it, and then you squeeze the sponge and you wring the dirt out, and then you release it, and then it fills up again with the fresh water, and you've cleared the debris. You think of the tissues of the body as a sponge, and inside those tissues are channels for life force that has become stagnant or blocked. We're going to wring up against it, we're going to squeeze it, then we're going to release it, and that tourniquet's going to open. The fresh chi, because we're going to be breathing when we do it, is going to flow through us, and we're going to clear the energetic debris. Cool? Again, you can do this one standing or sitting. We'll show you a technique. Now, some of you know this one, some of you don't. You'll breathe in as you're pulling your hands in. So you fill your body with that fresh water that we spoke about. Now we're going to get the debris out. You're going to clench and twist. So the more we can squeeze and twist the tissues, the more we're getting that tourniquet, just like squeezing on the sponge, right? So we're going to squeeze on the sponge of the tissues. And then when you squeeze it at the end, you give it a good ring, don't you? Okay? So you're going to give it a good ring by dropping into it a little bit. Now, you've got a lot of sponge, you've got a lot of tissues. You've got it in your face, in your core, along the side of it. So the better you know your body, the more you can activate the squeeze through all the muscles. If you're standing, you would put your legs together and you'd squeeze your booty and your leg muscles, your feet. So your whole system, right? So you can do that sitting as well. So let's do it again. Breathe in, fill up. Now, when we squeeze and wring, what's important is your blood pressure is going to go up, and we don't want it to go too high. So we've got to immediately breathe and bleed off any excess internal pressure. It's also a cleansing sound. And then start to relax and open the sponge and let it float down and shake. Okay, make sense?
I remember years and years ago studying yoga, and I learned two things that I've never forgotten, is that only through tension, raising your shoulders and then releasing, does your body even know it was tight to begin with. So sometimes taking something that you don't even realize there's tension, and you add more through a squeeze and then let it go, the shoulders will be lower than they were before, even though the brain didn't even know that they were tight. The other thing was some of the things that they teach in yoga. There's one where you just like grab your foot and you bend your leg and you pull your foot up towards your butt so the knee is compressed. And I remember we were holding it, and I remember thinking, I can just hold this, and this is so good. And then the teacher said, well, this really isn't the point of it. The point is the tourniquet. You're actually cutting off the blood flow from the top of the leg to the bottom of the leg. We're building up tension. The blood is like pooling and pooling and pooling, so that the benefit happens when you stop the stretch and straighten the leg, and you get this great, incredible force of blood through the knee because of that tourniquet, because of that tension, and that flushes any like scar tissue, toxins, energetic blocks that were there. So these are similar principles to yoga, only way, way, way more simple to do.
Looks like everybody loves the feeling and the analogy of this one. If you're a teacher, it's a great analogy to use with your students, okay? That helps them have a light bulb moment and go, oh, okay, that's why you do it. Now, in the full program, obviously, we're going to be doing this in different directions and different methods of the squeeze. But we wanted to get you the basic premise and to really understand the blueprint, because if you understand the blueprint, chances are you can start implementing some things you know, get into this home study course, get into this certification with us, get this for you, really get masterful at this so that you are, right, rocking your day and your life and your energy, and there's some golden opportunities right now to share these arts. We just did a YouTube search the other day for morning. Now, here's one thing that's really cool about good morning, and you kind of referenced it in the beginning for those of you who missed it. Just the words morning Qigong routine has
Or not
yielded,
even routine. Yeah.
it has yielded over 10 million searches for people in YouTube. There are some that are like, go to, after the show, go to YouTube and write morning Qigong. You can add the word routine if you want.
And that's something we teach to see what people are looking for.
Right.
It's a marketing thing.
One video is 2.4 million. Another one's 1.8 million. I'm thinking, I think I should do some Qigong videos on YouTube.
43,000 would be good, right?
We don't do it. We do everything. We've been doing everything on Facebook where you guys are right now. We're obviously gonna do that. So this is a tip for you out there who are teaching. Get some video up of you teaching.
And get ideas to see what people are searching for. Yeah. If you attended any of our energy events, the last couple, we have a sponge and his name is Bob. And we show Bob dry. And I would say that's like our body without chi. And then Bob takes a swim in a little clear bowl of water. And then Bob he expands. He is mobile. He's able to be squeezed and everything opens up and you can see the pores, right? Bob is happy. And I think that's such a great analogy of the body feeling dry and withered when it doesn't have energy, when it doesn't have energy to be the miraculous body that we've been given. The miracles are already in the body. This is just the most amazing. The human body will do everything. It's just can give it what it needs in order to do it.
One thing on this technique, don't hold it. Breathe and keep moving as you do the isometric gripping, okay? And then make sure you let go of the muscles and shake them out. This is an Ichuan type technique.
It's called the chipmunk.
Oh, the chipmunk, okay. Close to Ichuan. Core. Really let it go, let it flow. Now, we want to immediately move into the next phase, which is cleanse. I'll show you a simple move you can do. So let's say that you just did tourniquet. And you shake it out, you breathe in, and you breathe out. Now, obviously, this isn't the complete phase. This is just one technique, but this is calm. So your fifth step is to calm. So you breathe in and up.
Calm the chi.
And make the sound. I like to say flow down. This is a move out of Tai Chi called Tai Chi arms. Flow down. Okay, do a few of those and notice how you feel right now. Please do let us know. We sure help.
The chat's going crazy.
We sure appreciate when you guys are giving us feedback as we're going through this because it lets us know if we're, connecting the dots here. So we've got cleanse and calm. Why calm? Well, because you want to have a nice night, right? You don't want to be holding. So when you're getting that cleansing, washing type technique, you want to calm the system with that. They'll marry nicely together. You want to bring the nervous system back down into its normal state. Like I said, this is if you've had a busy day or you've had some emotional triggers going on or whatever it is. Even if you just want to increase your longevity, put yourself in your optimal state to thrive in the evening.
Yeah.
So you calm your system, you slow your breaths down, open your mind, get into that more end of day. So let me just back up for a second. I think what a lot of people experience at the end of their day is pure exhaustion.
That's what I was going to say.
Total burnout.
And
thank God the day's over.
And for many people, maybe it's the end of a work day and you hadn't stored enough chi, so you are feeling tired or irritable. And sometimes the end of the day is when we spend time with people we love, right? You might be with your partner or your friends or your kids or your grandkids. And that's when a lot of people get bitchy and snippy and bark.
I know, when you come home to be with the ones you love.
And somebody's talking and you're and you're not really listening because you don't have any energy to even listen.
Got nothing left. Yeah.
Right? So calm isn't like, oh man, yeah, I just smoked a joint kind of calm.
It's funny
Right?
coming from you.
That's just I see it in the movies. It's calm and present and loving, almost like you're there. You can really be there for others as well as for yourself. It's that to me is what calm feels like. I'm completely present.
I love that you said and for yourself, because some of the best experiences we can have happen at night, right? As we're moving into our evening and we want to read a nice book or have a meditation time or sit out on the porch and just watch the sun go down, or have a chat with your loved one. Like, it doesn't have to be oh my God, thank God this day is over. I just, gonna pass out on the couch watching the boob tube. What if your evenings became sacred?
Like a gratitude prayer.
Yeah. What if you looked forward to your evenings if you haven't been? Me time, Qigong time, right? Like, it can be such a rejuvenating experience to cleanse and calm. So wanted to bring that into the conversation because that's a paradigm shift for some of us. Thank God it's Friday, right? Thank God that day is over. Oh my God, barely. How you doing? Holding up. Just 5 more minutes till, the day, people say that at work. And it's that thing in our head, like we're surviving. We're just getting through. No.
Yep.
No. That's not thriving at all.
Yeah.
You got to change that. Turn that around. This can help with that.
Yeah, because if you really think about it, we have X number of days in our life. And so how crazy is it at the end of a day to be like, ugh, right? We better do something that switches it to, I'm so grateful I had another day. Yes. Because some people didn't.
Oh my gosh.
Yesterday was some people's last day. You had another day. Can we tap into that, especially in the evening? Because if you can tap into gratitude, because we're getting ready to lay the body down in the next few hours for step 6, if you can enter into the next phase from a place of gratitude is, for me, it is energy. The energy of gratitude is so rejuvenating because there isn't the complaining. There's grateful for what is, which makes you open to more.
Bonnie shares, that reminds me, before I began Qigong, I was so exhausted when I came home from work. I spent an hour with my feet up so I could cook dinner. It's been so long since that I felt that way. I forgot. I love that, Bonnie. When we forget how compressed things had been in the past because our practice has become a way of life, which is something that before we share the final phase, we really want to encourage everyone who's here, whether you're practicing or not, find just 10 minutes to give these techniques a try. Go through the whole program and notice what happens. People are sharing things here that are very inspiring. We're here to inspire you.
And consider going through the deep dive with us so that we can see you and help you get the most out of it.
Here's how you can do that. Jot this link down for after the session and go and look at what we're doing. Imagine being on Zoom with us, virtual, where we're watching your technique, getting to know you, giving you feedback,
helping you,
meeting the other people who are here and many others who will be doing this next certification. By the way, it is almost full. It's a very popular program. There are a lot of people right now, they want to do this not just for themselves, but they want to add it to their at-home practices, because a lot of us have had a serious impact by the global pandemic. And we know that we need new ways to help people. And Qigong, if you don't know this, it's not just one-on-one. It's not just like a coaching session. You can do it that way. You can do like we do, where you have just you, and then you can invite 5, 10, 15, 20 people. It's a one-to-many. We teach on Facebook. We video record. There's easy ways. You can do it, like things are opening up again in the park. You can do it at a yoga school. You can find a place. You can teach Qigong anywhere. But people love Qigong for the reasons we're telling you today. And also, and this is the big one, Sabrina was reading to you those studies, and those case studies, immune system. Nobody wants to get sick again. Let's keep the immune system strong. This is one of the best ways to naturally boost it.
We've had 2 people that have registered that I ended up having conversations with either on the phone or through email who are nurses, who are seeing lots of things right now and are frustrated with the medical system. I mean, everybody's doing the best they can, but they want ways to keep their own system strong during these times, and they want ways to help other people. There's some really, you don't have to have any experience, but there's some really, really lovely people who are going to be participating.
This is different than the Qigong certification that we've been offering for years. This is a different program and a different experience.
The other one's called the Flow Form.
This is the Good Morning, Good Evening Qigong. You'll have the home study course, and then you'll get to do the deep dives with us. We're doing something a little bit different in this one, where we're doing what's called breakout rooms, where you actually get teaching time and practicing with your fellow students.
Yep. There's 9 trainings that you can attend live or watch the replay, kind of like these trainings where we can't see you. And then there's 5 on Zoom where we can see you and take that next level.
You guys ready for the final step?
Yes.
Okay. This one is called Accumulate. Now, great news. You've got notes from this program, right? We gave you the blueprint. So you'll be able to go through it, kind of remind yourself what each step was if you didn't take notes. You've got the link.
Can I answer a question?
Yeah, sure.
Susan, I saw you ask this question a couple times. So you know how you are going through the flow form. We created the flow form certification. The initial group that went through it, those 9 modules that you received 2 a week for 4 weeks. Those were created live with the very first group that went through it with us. So they sort of got to see behind the scenes how the whole thing was done. And they paid a launch price that's much cheaper than it is now. So that's one way, is that the 9 modules that you'll receive, you can attend those live, but you also see the behind the scenes footage. The curriculum is totally different. The bonuses are different. The opportunity to be in the Qigong showcase and have people see you in that with us, you'll see that listed as one of the bonuses. So how is it the same? Well, it's us. And it is Qigong, but all the curriculum, all the moves are different. I would say if you are a teacher, a lot of the good morning, it's like a twofer. You're going to get certified in both. The good morning Qigong and the evening Qigong, they're good. I would probably have those as maybe show more of those with free content. You could also call those like a beginner level, and you could make your flow form intermediate level. It lets you offer more curriculum in different ways.
These are great shares you guys are popping in. Thank you. I'm just throwing them up on the...
She calls it a break. I love that. That's
awesome.
Great.
Coolio. All right. So this final step is called to accumulate. And this is your ability to recharge while you sleep. So there's a few things that you do, different techniques like hookups. And what you're doing is, after the calming session... What?
We have hookups.
We have hookups. Oh, no, you didn't. She did. She said it. So think about this analogy for a moment. You have your phone, right? We all pretty much have a smartphone, right? And you lay it down next to your bed. Well, if you don't plug it in, if you don't hook it up, it'll be dead in the morning. Now, some of us, we plug it in, but we keep it going and there's a video playing or music or something. That's your mind still spinning. You're getting a little bit of juice from sleep, but there ain't nothing like Qigong where you direct connect in to source force and you literally turn the brain, the mind, the busyness off, and you reboot the whole system. Remember, when you sleep deep, when you really sleep correctly, your body produces human growth hormone. And you need that natural human growth hormone to repair your body, to live a vital life. When somebody is tossing and turning at night, they're thinking, they're worrying, they're having to get up and then try to go back to sleep. You're breaking the circadian rhythm big time. You are not feeding the body the qi. Sleep is a type of qigong. Just imagine if you did, like, sleep deprivation is a torture tactic that is used to harm people. People are harming themselves every day by not getting enough sleep. They wake up back to the awakening. They don't wake up with awakened qi. They wake up with depleted qi. And every single day, it's a downward spiral of burning up what's called your jing, which is the amount of life force that you were given upon birth. Every human has a certain amount of jing. But if you sleep deeply and do the right routine at night, you will either maintain the jing that you have, and some say you can even replenish or rebuild it. And this is why they say that there are immortals, which is very... I don't know. How about that? I've never met an immortal. I have met some people, though, that are in their 80s and 90s that do these arts, and they look incredibly vibrant, healthy, and they're glowing. Their skin is nice. But they've dedicated themselves to a practice that enables that qi to stay fresh and healthy. So what you can do at night...
We have Qigong, certified Qigong instructors in their early 70s and late 70s.
Yeah. Our friend Peter, who is actually a part of this home study course, is in his 80s, and he is fit as a fiddle. And he has been practicing Qigong for decades. And so he's living proof. We're in our 50s, and we feel pretty darn fit too. And we're attributing so much of our own health to getting nourishing sleep and having active, healthy energy during the day. It's why we're such advocates for this practice. It's why we teach it for free. We do a 5 days of energy expansion, usually during the month of my birthday in the summer and in the beginning of the year, because we love the arts. Of course, we invite people to go further with us, but we teach for free and we give our best stuff, right? This blueprint, we really truly hope that this serves you. Of course, we want to work with you more. We love helping you. We want to teach this to you, and hopefully, not only will it just blow your mind and blow your body into incredible levels of health, but you'll help us help others. We're all about help the helpers, help more people. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we're doing this. To accumulate, something simple that you can do is you take one hand and put it right in front of, remember how I showed you earlier, the belly button and then the Lao Gong being in the center, and you hold it right in front of the belly? Well, you keep the hand about 4 to 6 inches away from the body and just hold it right there. The arm is round. This is called a bow. And then you take the other Lao Gong and just put it right here in front of your third eye. Okay, just right there. That's the hookup I was telling you about. It's balancing the mind and the body centers. And you just hold it and you breathe. So you've just done some calming. And I would encourage you just to relax into feeling a connection between the head and the hara, the dantian, the lower belly. Do a few breaths. Take the arms, bring them out. Bring the other one in front and right there. So in front of the lower dantian and then in front of the upper. And just do that. And then bring it down and seal your session. I would say some people, you're going to have to explore. And this, again, isn't the whole routine, so we don't know for sure what your experience will be from the little bit I've shown you. But if you do it too soon to going to sleep, you may say, wow, that picked up my energy a bit too much. So maybe do it an hour before going to bed. If you're able to do this, and I just fall straight asleep, great. One other thing you could do is you could do the calming and then go about your evening and then just do this sitting on the side of the bed before you go to sleep and then lay down. And it should really balance things and should help you have a beautiful, restful sleep.
Because we were talking earlier, some people say, oh yeah, I go to bed at whatever. I go to bed at 10 and get up at 6. That's 8 hours. And I'm like, yeah, but how many did you sleep? How much of that was awake or tossing or turning or or this or that. So it's actually like real sleep. And if you wake up, you can do a few breaths, be grateful, and slip back in, because you want that full sleep cycle. To me, I mean, I feel like sleep is a privilege. We both really love it. we call our bed like the square, right?
Yeah.
It's because it's just this square that we've lived in several places, and everywhere we go at night, we just lay on the square together. And it's such a place of rejuvenation and comfort and complete surrender.
Pretty cool how many people showed up for this tonight.
I love all your comments.
I do too. And I want to thank Mark for his fun comments and his playful nature here tonight. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
Yes, if you're on Facebook right now, as soon as the session is over, the replay is available using the same link. The show becomes the replay. And if you're watching it on the website, well, then you're watching it on the website.
And we're not asking anyone to post these, but here you go. Charlene says, I was up at 2 a.m. the other night with anxiety. I got up, did the good evening Qigong, and fell back to sleep. Mm-hmm. How many people can say that when they're stressing and worrying and in a state of anxiousness?
Yeah.
Not too many.
Because what people do, and everyone's trying to do the right thing, is some people say, "Oh, I can't sleep. I'm going to turn the TV on," and then you're watching something and your mind is engaged in that. You're telling your brain, "Wake up, follow this plot, follow this drama." Like that's something we would have never done, is like wake up and turn on the TV, because that's so activating the energy, and that's not what you want to do during the evening phase.
Thank you for your question, Kathy. Kathy caught a show that we did, I guess it was last week.
Which one?
It was called Sleep Gong. So we taught some techniques where Winston came and laid down on the floor with me. And she's asking, how does this tie in with that?
It was last week was the 5-minute morning routine that started with the towering
the stretch,
tree. But I think you
did
lay down and talk about Sleep Gong.
No, I think that was possibly the week before, Kathy. Anyway, it's on our page here, which is on Facebook, and it's also on our website under show. So we have our Trisbrina Shows replays there, and all of them are on YouTube. But it relates in that after you set yourself up for sleep and you're laying down, go ahead and do that Sleep Gong right then and there, because you're in flow. Mm-hmm. It's going to be super easy. You're going to lay on your back, open those lao gongs, put those feet together, and do that breathwork technique. You should have an amazing,
I think that's
amazing sleep.
That just brought up for me another difference in, like, with the, let's say, the Flow Form Home Study course, and then we go through it on a deeper level.
Welcome, everybody. Here we
And then we're going through it live with the Zoom sessions. As questions come up, more information is shared. Like, I bet this time when we're teaching some of the evening, we will end up talking about Sleep Gong. So it's so much more than we even know it's going to be, based on what everyone brings and requests.
Yep. All righty.
Yep. So go through, say the 6 steps again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awaken your chi. Build it and store it. Do that in the morning when you are ready for your evening session. Cleanse. Get all the debris off. Calm. Settle down. And then accumulate. Final step is to accumulate. So while you're sleeping, you're actually waking up with more energy. How about that? Because now we're on that upward spiral. And so everything that we're doing is continuing to grow the chi field rather than deplete the chi field. I'm down with that. But it requires consistency. It requires a little bit of loving discipline to be like, no, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to do it. It requires that you actually acknowledge your benefit, because you're never. My experience, I'm not ever consistent unless I'm seeing a result. If I don't know what's in it for me, and I'm like, dang, that's so good for me, unless there's a saboteur thing that's there, right? That's knocking you off your great routine, that thing that tries to knock you off your path. If you stay true to your practice and you stay super consistent and keep it fun and creative, that's why it's cool to learn new Qigong moves and add them into your repertoire, I think that you will build big Qi. And the last,
them correctly.
Do them correctly. And the last thing is, we call our company Satori Method. So Satori is an awakening of consciousness. And I found myself drawn to Qigong for healing because I was really jacked up and very miserable, and my body hurt all the time. And as I was doing Qigong and I was learning how to connect my mind and my body, I would connect to my heart, soul center, especially during that sleep gong one, Kathy. And I started to feel something awaken within me, which was a clarity. It was the real me, right? Just that part of me that was covered up with all my anger and my frustration. I was so out of tune with me. I got back connected to me. And our whole company, our relationship, all that is good in our lives has been birthed from being connected through Satori, through an awakened process. Qigong is the most amazing way to get back connected to your heart center and to have direct connect to source energy and to love.
Yep. Like that sponge analogy, when the body is, and the body, the being, everything feels all dried up. And then you put that sponge, one of those natural brown, I call them ugly sponges, real sponges, and you put it in the water and you see all these pores and it's like so wet and alive. You're alive to your intuition. You're alive to these incredible ideas, to listening, to conversations. So just to underline what Tristan was saying, there are so many physical benefits, but also the clarity that it brings, the knowingness. Like this morning, I woke up and I was trying to remember something that I had read yesterday on the internet. Okay? At 9 o'clock, I looked on Facebook and my mother had posted it. I never even told her that I was looking for this particular thing. She had posted that. How weird. On Facebook. And I'm like, why in the world did she post that episode of the Ellen Show interviewing Andrew Weil? Because I was looking at those COVID quotes. Like, that sort of coincidences just start happening all the time. It's like what I desire and think about just starts showing up. And I feel like it has to do with like that wetness of the water of the sponge is the life and the love of the universe. And you're so in it. You're wet with it. You're not just a dry sponge sitting on the top of your own life.
Ooh.
You're not don't be
a dry sponge sitting on the top of your life.
Of your wet life.
Of your wet life. There you go. Spoken like a true awakened being. Mark, I dropped the link in there for you again, buddy, so that you have all the steps. So go ahead and grab that. And for everybody who's joining us in the certification, welcome. And for those of you who are very seriously considering it, go and check it out. See what we have in store for you.
There really are limited spots. If you're like, I want to do that, I'm going to register in a couple days, don't wait.
And if you have any questions, you can call us or email us and we'll answer them for you. We are totally here for you. Coolio?
Our email is satori@satorimethod.com. All the information is on the page satorimethod.com/certification, which can you put that on the screen because the website can't see the chat.
There it is.
There you go.
Okay.
Make it easy. Make those URLs easy. And thank you. Go so many. Hey, Donna. Yeah, Donna Rios just showed up. She's joining us.
Nice.
Yeah, you can see in the Joe has registered, Kim, Bonnie, B. A lot of the people in the chat are joining us for the certification. It's going to be so amazing.
Totally. All right. Thanks, everybody, for the awesome comments and shares today. We'll catch you on the rebound.
B. A lot of the people in
the chat. And
Wow.
look, there's your voice coming right back at you.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to
Should
dance
we-
it out.
Want to show
Dancing with dogs.
Okay.
Hey, wake up, you
Dogs
little
with
Qigong
hats?
ninja.
I'm going to take this hat off.
This dog is so asleep. He did not want to wake up. He passed out. Look, he's so tired. You need Qigong, man.
That's an eating hat.
You need morning Qigong, dude. They come in here and they just fall asleep. Look, he's gonna go back to sleep. Look. You gonna go back to sleep?
Here, let's move. Make a screenshot.
Much love, everybody. See you later.